Hey, okay, so take two now that I have Wi-Fi. But what I was saying was, like, I got this message from this lady, and she was like, Sherry, I love what you're about. I love your positivity. I love your success, but I love the fact that you have no problems. In fact, that's the most attractive thing I find about people with success is they have no problems. And I was like, wait, let me set the record straight. Successful people, they got problems, okay? Everybody has problems. It's like today, it's now going on 38 hours. I have not had a cell phone. That is a problem. Like, if you feel me and you think that's a problem, drop a 1 below. That's a problem. And I'm not going to get it back for like another 12 hours. That's a problem. Like, everybody has problems. But see, the difference between the people that have a lot of success versus the masses is the people that are successful choose where they want to dictate their time at. So in their problems, they focus on the problems they can fix, and the problems that they don't fix, or they can't fix, or that's not worth their time, like they don't even focus on that, right? But let me give you some real life statistics. Here's the real life statistics is, out of everybody's worries, 40% of everybody's worries are worrying about things that never actually happen. So they never take place. 40% of their worries never take place. And 30% of their worries are they're worrying about things that happened already. Like, you can't go and change it, like it already happened, and they're worrying about it. 30%! Waste of time, like, don't go there. The next type of worry is people worry about what could go wrong with their health. 12% of your worries are about your health relations, whatever, like waste of time. And then 10% worry about things that don't matter in 5 years, 5 weeks, 5 minutes, like they're miscellaneous nothing. And that leaves 8%. 8% of our worries are actually legit. 8%, that means 92% of everybody's worries that cause pain and anguish and stress and loss of sleep, 92% of people's worries don't matter. They're unnecessary. They're not needed, 92%. Like, if that blows your mind, drop a 1 below. Like, that blew my mind. Which, let's talk about the 8% of the problems that do matter. Of those 8%, they fall into 1 and 2 categories. Category number 1 is problems that you can actually fix. Category number 2 is problems you can't fix. Now, of those problems you can fix, the best way to fix it is, I learned this from this guy named Paul Hetsy, and he demonstrates this by grabbing out a note card. And on a note card, on one side it says the problem, and then you flip it over to the other side, it says the solution. And see, as you can see, like, you can't focus on the problem and the solution at the same time. That's real life. And what that means is, if you're trying to have the solution, you can't be focusing on the problem. Wherever you put your time and energy at, that's what you're going to get back. So if you're constantly sitting there focusing on the problem, putting energy into that problem, guess what? That problem's going to come back, and you're just going to get more and more problems. But if you want to actually fix it, you focus on the solution. Once the solution start to pour in. But you cannot, the conscious mind cannot focus on the problem and the solution simultaneously. It doesn't work that way. Now, the point I want to prove is everybody has problems. There's millions of people in the world with the exact same problems as you, same problems as me. They're all the same problems. So the problem's not really the problem. The problem with our society is actually solving the problems. Now the question is, how does that apply to you? Well, let's use a real life example. And the real life example is, let's talk about goals. Let's say you write down your goal. You want to make an extra 10 grand a year, or you want to save up an extra $100,000, or you want to go compete for this body challenge, or you want to get that new promo, whatever you want a better relationship, like whatever your goal is, you write that down, and then the problem becomes, how can you accomplish it? Well, it's easy. It's easy. All you got to do is you just use your mind and you think. Like, that sounds so basic, but that's the answer. See, the ability and the art of actually thinking is way underrated. So much to where one of my favorite quotes comes from this play, and the play is called The Secret of Freedom, and Archibald is the one that actually stated that. And here's what he says to like show you how much people underestimate the power of thinking is this. He says, quote, "The only thing that identifies a human as a human is their mind. Everything else you can find in a pig or a dog." like instincts, the ability to be able to see, hear, smell, taste, touch, the ability to default to emotions for your reaction. So like without even thinking about it, you just instinct, you just react. You don't take time to think. See, what humans have the ability to do is they have the ability to use their mind outside of instincts, aka thinking. But see, here's another quote that makes this even funnier is Dr. Ken McFarland states, when it comes to thinking, only 2%, listen, 2% of the world of people actually think. Which that leaves 3% of people's economy that actually think that they're thinking, which leaves 95% of people don't even, would rather, actually what he says is 95% of people would actually rather die than think. Like that's funny. That's funny. That's funny stuff there. Like if you think that's funny, drop a 5. Like I think that's hilarious. And so it comes down to this right here is I don't want you to get confused with mind activity versus actually structured thinking. See, mind activity, everybody's got that. It's like Jeremy Jones says it best. He says, some people's minds are all over the place. It's like having an internet browser open with 5,000 tabs, like all at the same time. Like that's mind activity. I'm talking about concentrated thinking. Another analogy is like having a candle in a room. You light this candle up and it lights the walls dimly. You can't really see the clock in the pictures. It's not there's not enough energy or light in the room to see it. It's just it's all over the place. So if you were to take that exact, stick with me, if you were to take that exact same power and energy, but you direct it into one, not 50,000, but one concentrated direction, like in a flashlight, same energy, just in a concentrated flashlight, all of a sudden you can light up the clock, you can light up the pictures, right? Same analogy. But the question is this right here. I wrote this down for you as well. Who actually has time to sit there and do concentrated thinking with the world we live in? Like it's crazy busy. But let me give you some numbers. Everybody on this call, all of you, me, you, and me, we all have 24 hours in a day. No matter who you are, you got 24 hours in a day. Now times that by 365 days, you have, I wrote it down, you have 8,760 hours per year to do what you want to do with. Now, if you happen to sleep 8 hours a day, that means you now will have 2,920 hours a year sleeping. And if you work 40 hours a week, you have 2,080 hours a year working. And so if you subtract all your working 40 hours a week and all your sleeping 8 hours a night, you still have 3,760 hours left of your day, of your year. Now let's say, with all that time, let's say you just invest 1 hour. Normally I say 20 minutes, but let's just stretch it and just say 1 hour of your day investing in the goals or your objectives or your end games or personal development. Like 1 hour a day you invest into you, 1 hour a day. That would mean 365 hours a year you're investing into you and your goal. Which would still leave you 3,396 hours left to do whatever you want that you're not sleeping, not working. And if you break that 365 hours a year down, that means you would be investing 15 solid 24-hour days into working on your goal. Everybody's got time. See, in 2013, at the end of it, I didn't think I had time. I had a full-time law enforcement career going. I had a full-time equestrian career going. I was in my master's program in college. I'm like, I don't got time for this stuff. But it's like that mindset I had developed the environment around me to where I didn't have time. Did anyone pick up on that? Listen closely. And so I'm like, okay, if something's going to change, I got to change. And it goes back to that quote, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. Anybody hear that? If you've heard that before, drop an 8 below. If you've heard that before, drop an 8. So I decided to make time for it. And my goal at that time was I had just partnered with this company and I wanted to be the top I would be at the top levels. Fast forward 24 months later after that decision, I didn't just make it to the top. We're talking 24 months later, I was in the top 0.05% income earners in that company 24 months later. So it's like, I'm not just talking about theory, I'm talking about stuff that actually is legit that I've seen work. And so I want you guys to try this. Just try it for this next week. Just give it a week. Like if you can do this for a week, you can do it for 2 weeks. If you can do it for 2 weeks, you can do it for 4 weeks. If you can do it for a month, you can do it for 2 months. If you can do it for 2 months, you can do it for 4 months. And if you can do this for 4 months, you can do it for a year. And if you can actually dedicate 1 hour a day to your goal, write your goal down and just focus on that goal for an entire hour, how are you going to accomplish it? Just working out just 1 hour a day for the next year. If you actually do that, some of you will. Some of you will. If you actually do that, I promise you, you will 100% underestimate what you can accomplish. So here's what I want you to do. If this resonated with you just a little bit, if you got any value in this, I want you to go ahead and drop below and push that share button and share it. And then put your name down below that you shared it. And then what I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to run this raffle of my 10 favorite personal development books. And whose ever name I pick out, I'm going to contact you and see what book you want and send you the book complimentary. So in closing, here's what I want to say. If you want to actually do this, if you're sick and tired of where you're at and you actually want to change something and you decide to do this for you, your success 12 months from now will be in direct proportion to the action you take the moment you get off this video. 1, 2, 3.